Greetings, everybody. I just stuck my finger in my coffee. That's what I get for trying to drink coffee and have a cigar at the same time. Look at that. That's Betty Page. You know, she was in case you don't know, the most famous pinup girl of the 1950s and 60s. Probably the most famous pinup girl in American history. And very good friends with Dave Stevens. In fact, Dave Stevens, the artist, was inspired by her to draw the, I forgot what the character's name is, for the Rocketeer. But at any rate, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better since my last video. Boy, that turned out to be a cold, and a whopper of a cold. Holy crap. I recently picked up some stuff on eBay, and I want to share that with you real fast, and then after this video I'll get back to the my Silver Age haul. But anyway, here's the first thing what I picked up on eBay for 10 bucks. This is Marvel Movie Premiere #1, and this was published in 1975, and I just love this cover. Cover is by Nick Cardy, who he drew most of the Silver Age Aquaman from, I think, about 1962 to 1968. I think about the first 40 issues. And yeah, he was famous for that. And that's just an awesome cover by Nick Cardy. Painted cover. I love that. Next up, I have a real near mint to mint copy of The Wonderful World of the Brothers Grimm. And I know that I showed you this in probably the last video or the one before that, but that was a lesser grade. This is a higher grade, and I just love this cover and this movie. This is based on the fairy tales of Jacob and William Grimm, who I think in the late 1800s or the late 1700s to the early 1800s collected German folklore and fairy tales, and then published them in various different volumes. And they were responsible for collecting and keeping alive the fairy tales of, Snow White and Rumpelstiltskin and Little Red Riding Hood and Sleeping Beauty and a lot of others. And of course Cinderella as well. But this was an awesome movie, and I saw it when it came out in 1962, and it was never, I don't think it was ever released on DVD or VHS. Never came out on video. Next I have Erie #3, which I actually needed because I didn't have that in my collection. I'm trying to complete this collection. It's from 1951, and cover is by Wally Wood, and it also has Joe Kubert art in there. I forgot what the tale, he drew a story in there. I forgot what the name of it was. Wait a minute, is it in the front cover there? Oh, there it is right there. The Mirror of Isis. That was what Joe Kubert did. Next I have from 1979 the Uncanny X-Men #120, which was the first appearance of Alpha Flight by John Byrne and Chris Claremont, with the art team, John Byrne and Terry Austin, who did the inks. And then I have another copy of that. I got these at a really, really great deal, all around $20. And in the price guide, these books are going for about $100. Unbelievable. So I got these good deals. I just put in my minimum bids, and then I let it ride, and if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. And I was surprised that nobody bid higher than 20 bucks on these. And the next one is 121, which is the first full appearance of Alpha Flight. And I also got another copy of that. And as I said, these are all in near mint-to-mint condition. Just fantastic. Can't believe that I won those at that price. Then I needed to upgrade this. First of all, let me show you the grades that I had in my collection. I had Amazing Spider-Man number 20, and this is a very low grade. I don't know if you can see the cover's got damage to it, and it's missing the there's a pinup in this of Spider-Man, and it was missing that, and so I would have to put that like in fair condition. Then the second copy I had a name printed on the front cover. You could see it there, and there was also the same name printed on the back cover and on one of the pages inside the book. So this was in no higher than maybe a good to a good plus condition. Let me move these aside. Then I had a third copy which was better and very good, or very good plus condition. And I decided I'm gonna sell these three, and then I bought this one from eBay. I won this on eBay, and this is in fine plus, and actually that's what the guy that I bought it from, he graded it at a fine plus, and I checked it, and I agree with the grade. I should take it out of the bag to show you. Let's see here. Bear with me for a moment while I get this tape off of here. As I always say, I take the tape completely off. And that's the book right there. Fine plus condition. I checked it, and it is in a very fine plus, maybe even slightly higher, but I hesitate. But I was happy to be able to get this at the price I paid for it. Believe me, it was not inexpensive, but right around $250. The original price he was asking was $329, and I made an offer. This was not actually an auction. I made an offer and he accepted it, and that's what it was. Very nice copy of that. So oh, the last thing I want to show you is something special right here. This is Spitfire Comics. It's a digest size comic that came out in 1941, and it was the first Harvey comic book published by that company, which was well, they came into existence the same year, 1941. Actually, this ties with another another digest size comic book that they published in 1941, which was called Pocket Comics. And this and Pocket Comics were both published in August of 1941. So those two tie for the very first comic that Harvey Comics ever published. And this has the origins of such obscure characters like the Magician of Baghdad, the Spitfire, and the Clown, and also a strange little character by the name of the Flyman, which has no relation to Joe Simon and Jack Kirby's Fly, or Flyman as it was later called by Archie. This was actually a co-creation of who was that guy? Sam Glanzman, and famous. The Glanzman brothers are very famous. His brother Lou is a famous illustrator, and they're both still alive. And Lou's illustrations and original art go for a huge amount of money. And well, anyway, Sam Glansman is basically responsible for co-creating, or perhaps creating entirely, the character of the Flyman. And they came out with a second issue of this in 1941, and then after that, it just disappeared because the news agents claimed that they didn't want to carry it because it was too easily stolen by kids or whatever. This particular size, this format, and so it was an experiment that Harvey tried, and it was a failed experiment. But nonetheless, this is a scarce, very scarce issue, and historically significant because it's the first digest-sized comic book that was published as a comic book for sale to the general public, not like the promotional digest-sized little comics that might have been published by other companies to promote something. This was an actual comic book. And oh, speaking of the Flyman, the Flyman in this comic book is actually about a kid whose father's a scientist who invents some kind of a serum that his son drinks, and it turns him into a tiny little fly, and that's basically it. He goes out and fights crime as this tiny little fly. Kind of ridiculous, but that's what it was. So yeah, that's about all what I got for you right now. I just wanted to upload this quick video, and I'll be putting up a video pretty soon with the rest of my Silver Age haul. And speaking of the Flyman, that's a whole story in and of itself, because according to Steve Ditko, Joe Simon, and even Jack Kirby, in interviews and in essays and other things that they've written and talked about, the Fly, which ended up being the Flyman at Archie, originally started out as Spider-Man, a character that Joe Simon created back in 1954, or at least the logo across some artboard. Joe Simon had this idea for a new superhero that he'd call Spider-Man, and then he gave he commissioned C.C. Beck at the time, who was a co-creator and the main artist on Captain Marvel, commissioned him to draw the original 8 pages of it. But when Joe Simon got it back, it never went anywhere. You know, the superhero genre was not going anywhere, and so he shelved it, and it was never it was forgotten until around 1959, when, you know, it became the Silver Spider, then it became the Fly, then it became Flyman, and there's a whole history there that I'd like to go and explore in one of my videos upcoming, because it's very interesting to hear the stories of Jack Kirby and Ditko and Joe Simon and others like Jack Olak, who was the scripter for the original Silver Spider, which became the Fly. But it's like the idea for Spider-Man was already there the whole time before. Well, anyway, let me just leave it at that right now, and I'll see you guys maybe in a week or so. I'll get my other video up for the remainder of the Silver Age comic books that I picked up in that big haul. And happy St. Patrick's Day, and don't drink too much, and certainly don't drive while you're drinking. Take care, people.